It certainly is more than a football club to many of us. It's a cliche, innit? But it's a way of life. It actually is a way of life.
Dutch courage or aliveness, as you say. I was down at 8:30 this morning on pitch, getting it ready again. Scotty's cleaning up after me. Look at him, he's a he's an absolute animal then. He's absolutely puddled, isn't he? Look at him. So I'm down here, 57. My role is groundsman, catering. We do everything together. We, as a volunteer, do a bit of everything. The people down here are Sarah over here, she's brilliant. But everybody, Scotty, Jim, all the volunteers down here and stuff, it's like we have a laugh, and it helps a lot of people. Volunteering down here helps people. People who've had like sort of depression, mental health problems and stuff, whatever. It gives you a purpose.
It's just a great club. It's a great club, great community locally that run the club. And we're slowly building a really good following of people who also are, becoming emotionally attached to the club. It means something different to every single person that walks through the gate. For me, it's about the football. I want to win, and for someone else, it might simply be they come here to meet a friend and have a pint and catch up. And for somebody else, it might be I'll get out the house, I'll take the kids with me. The kids will see that. So there's a multitude of reasons why people come here, walk through the door, and that's fine. Hopefully we provide a positive outlet for all of them.
17.
Chris Musson, 59 years old, probably had my first game down here in my first year, and I've been actively involved on and off probably for almost 40 years. I still meet people who claim to come from here who have no idea where it is, but I equally find that people who aren't from here at all, if they come to one game and then come to the next game, people recognise them. If you go to one away game and go to a second one, then you're a die-hard blue and you're in business. So there's a very welcoming, we aren't exclusive, far from it. If people want to actually get to know the place, I can't think of a better place to do it, even if you don't chat to anyone. But if you did, or even let on or nod to people, it really won't take long to strike up conversations. I chat to people now, I haven't the slightest idea what their name is, but I don't care because I know I've been to loads of games with them.
I didn't even know there was a football club in the town. It was quite weird. So because I'm a Burnley fan, but got invited to come down to Clitheroe. I think we paid like £5 entrance or something like that. Ended up having just an amazing day. It was just the most purest football environment I've ever seen. Having a laugh with your mates next to the pitch and sort of camaraderie. It's lashing it down. It's just at this level of football, it's really pure.
I love it down here. Honestly, non-league football, up until 5 years ago, I've probably been to a handful of non-league games. I used to go to, I was a season ticket holder at Blackburn for 45 years. But I wouldn't swap it for this. This is real. It's real football, real people.
Hello, I'm Matthew Worley, I'm 34 and I've been coming to Clitheroe for 6 years. Everybody is always off for me because that's all I talk about. At work, everyone's like, yeah, Matt's talking about Clitheroe again, obviously.
I just
just love the atmosphere and the people that are involved, and everybody around the place are just so welcoming, so friendly. Everybody's approachable. We've got a great group of fans, and also just the group that we associate with are absolutely fantastic. Just laugh a minute every time we come to games, home and away. It's just brilliant atmosphere, great fun.
Just love the place, love the atmosphere, love the fans, the whole setup. It's getting so much better. Great for families. You bring your kids down, come down with your dog if you want.
It's my hometown club. I only came down to our board one Saturday, and I thought, oh, I like this. I'll come again, and I've been coming ever since. It's better than I don't go to league games. No interest. Non-league football all the way for me.
I absolutely love my hometown, and for us to have such a good non-league side is good. Yeah, good. Well, tier 8, but we are. It's enjoyable.
I think of all the football grounds I've attended, there's a bigger cross-section of people, from kids, middle-aged people, pensioners, all turn up to watch.
It's the fact you can interact with the players, you feel part of the club. It's just brilliant. I just recommend anybody that doesn't follow grassroots is to go to grassroots and start following the local team. A lot of local clubs going out of business, can't afford to keep running, and you've really got to push it for grassroots. You really have, because the Premier League and the league clubs, they have money filtering through. Gets down to this level, and they don't have the money the same, and you really need to back your own team. You really do.
It's class. It's brilliant. It's brilliant to be involved with. It's brilliant to see. It's brilliant to know players, and get on with them. And when they perform well, being there with them and feeling it with them, not just watching them on the telly.
I think the fans love the players love the fans, and they love the family feel, community feel of the club.
That's one of the beauties about it, isn't it? You can be as close with the players, they all know me, I know them. It's fantastic. Billy messaged me saying happy birthday. It's fantastic. You don't get that anywhere else than this level.
Here you get to know the fans, a lot of them. You go in the bar after, a lot of them in there, the kids come up to ask them for autographs and stuff, and it is a community thing. Once you're playing non-league, like you said, even the smaller clubs, they'll get 100 on, 200 on, and they'll be really close clubs, and that keeps a club running. And I think it's a very good thing for the community to have a club like this around. It's lucky to have Clitheroe. Like I said, I've been around a lot of different clubs, and it's a very good club to be around.
You can't turn your back on it, you can't but want it to do well. The overriding word definitely is just proud. Proud to have been associated, proud of the people that currently have the task of keeping the club going and building it. Proud of every player in that dressing room. Pride is the overriding word. If somebody asks me about Clitheroe.
It's a bit like a bug really, it does get under your skin and what have you, and everybody that comes here loves the club, the players love coming and playing for the club, but just everything about the club, the friendliness, the supporters, just everything that goes with being what football should be, especially at this level. It's amazing, professional football now is it's just all about the money in it, but here it's just like a family club.
Some of the support we get is brilliant, vocally brilliant. It's something that players comment on straight away when they come and sign here and start playing. It's another huge positive at the club.
It's a brilliant supported club. We've sold up to, I think, 570 season tickets this season. It's well in touch with the community.
Getting more and better priced season tickets has meant more people can sample what we've got. And the town actually is growing, so we might have been a small town. We always were about 13,000 people for decades. I think we're nearer 20,000 people, and people are actually recognising what we do and where we are.
We're having thousands and thousands of houses built with families coming on board.
People have been brought on who didn't know this club was here, and I think now it's more of a social, it has more of a social effect on people, and they come on here to meet up with their friends and their neighbours and people that they haven't seen for weeks. And I think that, as much as the football, is a very important part of this club.
As the town grows, hopefully the club grows, and we become one of the main attractions within the town. A lot of the towns around the country, the football club is. you know, they're synonymous because of the football clubs, aren't they? Maybe one day that will be the case with Clitheroe. At the moment, it's because of the castle and the beautiful surroundings. But who knows? It'd be nice if one day it's noted around the country because of its football club.
It's all been done, as far as I know and from what I see, on the basis of making sure that it's sustainable, and so that this football club will be here again in 100 years' time.
We've been trying to engender a massive community feel to the club, helped by getting the link back with Clitheroe Wolves, which is over 1,000 kids ageing from, I think their youngest age group's 5 to 6, I think, up to under 18s team, and that now links in well with our under 18s and the under 21s.
We've got, I think, looking at the registrations today, we've 1,200 players now. We've almost 80 groups of 80 teams and groups of players playing every week, and you only have to walk through the town and see the kids on a Saturday at Shawbridge. They're all wearing the Wolves jackets. They're all, you know, most of the coaches go down now, and it's a great atmosphere. I must admit, been to a few away games this year. The atmosphere at Shawbridge and the crowds are generating, and the match day experience is probably second to none in that league. And I think, you know, seeing the kids get on there, and if we can build the crowd and the average attendance up by promoting it more in Wolves for the players and the parents to go down to support the club, it creates that link for everybody, and it's just important for the whole community to see that one club feeling the whole way through, which a lot of other clubs have done, and we didn't want it to be separate. It kind of didn't make any sense for us to be separate. We're sort of about 800 yards away from the ground where we stood here, so it's, you know, it doesn't make a lot of sense to be competing and having that divide when we're all in the same. We've got the same aim for the town, and that's for the kids to play and for the club to be a success.
The partnership between Clitheroe Wolves and Clitheroe FC is a massive, like, it needs to stay in, because it educates kids in a way, because they thought after you finish football there's nothing really. But now, with kids having open trials and trials for different teams, local teams like Hurst Green and Rimington and things like that they can go into, it's great. And I really appreciate the fact that both Clitheroe and Clitheroe Wolves have come together with it.
It's such a positive environment. There's so many people here that will help you out if you're struggling. Absolutely helped me integrate into the community, made friends, and the link now to Clitheroe FC itself and Wolves can only be a good thing. All of the teams that play here, I think there's 65 teams, 1,000 kids. It is literally like Clitheroe FC has its own academy, if you will. Now, you know, it's that's how big that Wolves are, and it can only be a good thing for the first team.
I think the club's now in the best position that I remember. Obviously last year was a bit disappointing in terms of playoffs, but this season's exciting, and the whole background to it, the whole aspect of the community feel is as good as I ever remember it, and I'm sure most people that have been involved over the years would say the same.
Our ground is brilliant. Our pitch has never been better.
We've got a great stadium, lots and lots of sponsorships, new seated stand sponsor, new ground sponsor over the last 12 months. So there's, you know, we're generating the money from within the community with people that want to sponsor us. There must be 180 boards out there that people are sponsoring with us, and there's more growing every week.
You know, John's Bar as well, that's open during the week now. People are coming down to the club, having a drink with fellow fans. And I just think the fan base is so linked to the community in the sense of, you know, away days, we all travel together. And I just think without the community, this club's, it's nothing.
The reason we are in this place is because of the people. And of course the football as well, let's not forget about that.
As privileged as we are to be involved at this club, day to day, and support this club, what would it be like if we won something? Because most of us have suffered some really poor seasons, you know, usually stuck around mid-table. Occasionally we've challenged for the playoffs. We've had, I think it's nearly 20 years now in this division. I just would love to see us win something.
It's funny, the older you get, I'm not that bothered about winning. I like to win, don't get me wrong, and I'll be cheering with the best of them, but for me it's travelling with that much overused word, community of people who've got a shared memory bank, And yeah, I think that's, so it's the people, many of whom simply aren't with us anymore.
And where would this club be without
Without the people who have gone, or the people who actually put the time in volunteering down here?
the fans of the terraces and the volunteers, really?
Then it's just 11 blokes playing football, and who really cares about that?
The people around the club have changed slightly over, from over my period here. And I recall when we first came, the club was pretty much run by pensioners, and it had fabulous people, absolutely. The club was in their heart. Sadly, I think they've all gone now, pretty much. But they're really, though they're not here anymore, they are the ones that inspire me personally. I think of people like Keith Lord, who was the groundsman. Some of the stuff he said to me when he was not in a great, towards the end, sort of stayed with me forever.
Lordy just was life and soul of the place. Got us into a lot of trouble with the league and all that, because every referee and linesman that come on here were a waste of time, and they were all against Clitheroe. But Lordy, I always thought Lordy would die out on that pitch, mowing it We've got a lot of other old volunteers. Colin Wilson was the secretary. And we've got Reggie Lawson, God rest his soul. All these people have passed on now.
What the club meant to them is beyond words, really. You can't put that into words. It was literally all their life. It consumed their life, some of them. Keith definitely one. And we've got a fantastic group of volunteers here now, and thankfully we've got more than we've ever had, and everyone mucks in and everyone wants the same things, hopefully.
This club does not run without the volunteers. It's so important to have the volunteers involved, and I think it's the community. I think everybody who comes on here really come away with the result. We're leaving here probably 90% with a smile on the face.
You can't manage here without volunteers. I had sister, daughters-in-law, people that I worked with, customers that I saw on a weekly basis. Anybody like that would just come down. But I think it is easier now. It's a nicer place to come, and I think it almost snowballs. People will talk. Oh, I go down to Clitheroe and I help out. Oh, right. Oh, what do you do? Well, I do that. Oh, I could do that. And I think there's part of that element to it as well.
All the people here are volunteers. From Danny coming in, doing 50 hours a week, volunteering, making the food, cutting the grass, doing the lines before match day, And then everybody else, Andrew, Jackson, managing the books. Nobody pays him to do that. He does that at home, and then they all come here. The worst thing about it is they don't get to watch the games. All these people that volunteer, they're the life and soul of the club. They're working on match days. Danny's stood in his grub tub all the way through the game. Keep going over to him saying, "What a game!" And he's like, "I've not seen it. I don't know. You tell me." But yeah, that it's entirely community based. That's what it's all about. It's everyone here is just part of this community. And that's what makes it feel like, it's like a family.
I just love it. I don't tend to get to see much of a home game, so I do actually prefer the away games because I tend to be really busy. But just getting those fans absolutely loving it, and those players loving to play for the club.
What I love about this club so much is the people. It's every single person that you see on a match day. It's people that you bump into while going around the ground and have nice little conversations with. It's amazing volunteers and their amazing efforts, monumental efforts to make this happen.
The best thing about it is you can be as involved as you want. Like I'm a joiner, and I obviously coming in here, when I first started coming, the gents' toilets there were a block wall. They were painted with concrete paint with a gutter concreted in the ground. And that was your urinal. But it's whatever anybody does as a fan. So I've built loads of stuff around the ground. I've built the pergola over the beer garden. I've done loads. and it's because you want to. So it's all community based. It's fantastic. So without the community, it'd be nothing. But as would every other club in this division, I'm probably the one above. I'm probably the one above that.
The volunteers are the thing that makes this football club, and without them, that's all I can't get over the hard work that the volunteers put in, and that match with the Vive on Shawbridge. Without the volunteers, there is no Shawbridge. The pitch is immaculate, but the pitch doesn't just wake up and feel this way. Danny and his grounds team, Jim, Peter, Tez, Scotty, Chris. If I said Peter, I don't want to miss anyone out, but they all work so hard. John and his bar, Matt Worley with the beer garden. The topside doesn't make topside. It's like a puzzle, and you put all the pieces together and you get Clitheroe Football Club.